Have you ever arrived at Disney World with a wheelchair, power wheelchair, or ECV and thought, I wish someone had told me that before my trip? You're not alone. One of the biggest misconceptions about using a mobility device at Disney World is that everything will automatically be easy. While Disney is one of the most accessible vacation destinations in the world, there are still plenty of mistakes that can turn a magical day into a frustrating one if you're not prepared. So a little planning can save you time, energy, and stress. In today's video, I'm sharing some of the mistakes people make when visiting Disney World with a mobility device. Some of these mistakes are surprisingly common, while others are things most guests don't discover until they're already in the parks. So before you head to the most magical place on earth, make sure you watch this video all the way to the end. If it's helped you in any way and you would like to see more, please like and subscribe. Let's get rolling. Forgetting to measure your mobility device. Most guests never think about width, length, or weight limits until transportation becomes an issue. I'll be the first to admit that I never checked. When we moved to the Disney bubble, I purchased a lightweight but wide wheelchair. In terms of transportation, traveling on the Skyliner was the only issue. Because it was too wide, I would have to get up, and hubby would close it to fit it inside. Every attraction is different, and many guests don't discover this until they're already in line. Disney buses, monorails, Skyliner, and many boats can accommodate mobility devices, but they must fit within Disney's guidelines. As of current Disney accessibility guidelines, mobility devices generally must fit within approximately 32 inches wide and 48 inches long. Not learning the easiest routes through each park. Knowing the wider, less crowded, and flatter routes can make a huge difference. We learned this one the hard way. When hubby was pushing me around in my wheelchair, and since we are both poo-sized, especially during the hot and humid months, learning the easiest routes, thus taking the least amount of steps, made a huge difference. Underestimating transportation time. Loading and unloading mobility devices takes longer than most guests expect. This is especially true when using the Disney bus transportation system. Fact, buses are more crowded during opening and closing times of every theme park. While Disney buses are accessible, they can only fit 2, sometimes 3 wheelchairs or ECVs per bus. Disney states allowing yourself at least 1.5 hours for transportation time, not practicing driving an ECV before your trip. The first place you want to learn isn't Main Street during peak crowds. So if you are having an ECV delivered to your hotel, it's best to try it out before heading over to the parks. If you are renting one inside the parks, try to find a less crowded area to practice for a bit. Sitting too low and losing sightlines during shows. Many guests don't realize this until they're surrounded by standing crowds. So for parades and nighttime fireworks, it's always best to give yourself plenty of time and locate a viewing area for guests with disabilities, as it's first come, first serve. Also, while being in any kind of line, I try to give myself a little extra space in front of me so I am not right up against someone's backside. Being afraid to ask cast members questions. Cast members often know shortcuts, elevator locations, and accessibility options. Also, don't forget, if you are having any technology issues, look for the blue umbrellas, as these cast members are amazing at assisting you. Forgetting about Florida, weather, rain, heat, and afternoon storms can impact both guests and equipment. I always pack lightweight ponchos And now that I have a power wheelchair, I carry a Ziploc bag to put over the controller. Cover your ECV's control panel with a plastic shower cap. Drape a large rain poncho or a plastic trash bag over the seat and controls when parked. While riding, wear a large poncho that drapes over the handlebars. Avoid deep puddles, as water can damage the electrical motor. Not planning rest breaks. A mobility device reduces walking, but doesn't eliminate fatigue, especially when it gets hot and humid. If possible, I try to alternate a ride and then doing something indoors with air conditioning, trying to do too much in one day. If you can try to include 1 or 2 rest days during your vacation, or try going it open and just before or after lunch, go back to your hotel and rest. Listen to your body as it will tell you when you need a break. Every one of these mistakes is completely avoidable with a little planning. Remember, using a wheelchair or ECV doesn't mean you'll experience less magic. It just means you'll experience it differently. Remember, adventure is out there, no matter how you travel.